Have you ever wondered what makes a great city great? It's not just luck, that's for sure. And it's definitely not an accident. Nope. Every truly great city has a plan, this kind of hidden blueprint that guides how it grows. So today, let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how that plan comes to life.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? How do you go from just an empty piece of land to this bustling, vibrant place that people actually want to live in? Well, it all kicks off with a vision. Okay, let's take a look at this place, Marsden Point. Now, at first glance, you might think, wow, this place just kind of grew on its own, right? You see this busy city, the port, all these different neighborhoods. It feels organic. But what you're actually looking at is the result of some really careful, deliberate design. So we're going to use this city as our case study to feed just how powerful a blueprint can be. All right, so who's the person drawing up this master plan? Well, we're about to meet the real unsung hero of any city, the person whose job it is to literally think decades into the future. And that person is the land use planner. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Zoning maps, paperwork, bureaucracy, but it's so much more than that. A planner's real job is to look at the whole shebang, the economy, the environment, the people, and make sure the city grows in a way that's good for everyone, for the long haul. I really love this quote here. It says planners are stewards, and that word is so important. They're not just managers pushing papers around. They're guardians, They protect the city's vision, making sure that some quick, easy decision today doesn't mess things up for the future of the whole community. And this right here, this is basically the secret sauce of urban planning. Think about it. Land use and transport are totally connected. They're like two sides of the same coin. Where you put stuff, houses, shops, offices, that completely changes how people get around. And how easy or hard it is to get around, well, that influences where we want to build new things. When you get that relationship right, you create what's called the city user experience. And that's what it's all about.
Okay, so let's get back to our story. Marsden Point is doing pretty well for itself, but it's right on the edge of something huge. A massive opportunity is knocking at the door.
So here's the lay of the land. The town's got a great economic base, right? A thriving port, energy sector, forestry, you name it. They've even put in new highways and rail. But here's the kicker. The main town area is full. There's no more room to build. It is just primed for growth, but it needs a little push.
And here's that push. Some big players, captains of industry, show up. They see all the potential in the region's resources, and they want in. They're looking to build new factories, new businesses. And this, right here, is the fork in the road. This is the moment a town either explodes into a chaotic mess, or it grows smartly, following a plan.
So this is it. This is where our planner rolls up their sleeves. Their job is to take all this new energy and excitement and channel it, shape it into a real plan that's good for the whole city.
And it's not random. There's a clear process. First up, they check the city's big picture vision. That's the spatial plan. Then they get into the nitty-gritty with the zoning rules, the land use plan. After that, they're on the phone with the infrastructure folks, the engineers, to make sure the water, power, and roads can actually handle all this new development. Only after all that do they draft the master plan. And once that gets the green light, it's go time.
And look at the results. Thanks to that solid plan, Marsden Point has this whole new ecosystem of businesses. We're talking big stuff like grain and livestock processing, a bottling plant, but also cool spots for the community, like a bakery, a sports bar, and get this, even a TV studio, to help promote all the new local products.
But the job's only half done. I mean, this economic boom is fantastic, a huge success, but it creates a new challenge. A good one, but still a challenge. All these new industries created new jobs, and all those new jobs bring in new people, and they all need somewhere to live. The planner's work is far from over.
So the next big question is, where are all these new workers going to live? You could just let houses pop up randomly all over the place, but no. The plan calls for something much, much bigger. We're talking about building an entirely new neighborhood from scratch. And here it is. Welcome to Whangarei Flats. It's basically a brand new satellite town designed specifically to be a home for all the folks working in the new industries. And the key here is the goal wasn't just to build a suburb, it was to create a real community.
And you can totally see that commitment to community just by looking at the houses. This isn't some cookie-cutter development. The homes are vibrant, they're diverse. It's all about creating a genuine sense of place for the people who are going to live here.
Because, the plan recognizes that a great life is about more than just having a roof over your head. It's the little things.
Details like having your own backyard or shared green spaces where kids can play. These things were deliberately woven right into the fabric of the neighborhood to give families room to breathe.
And it's not just about private space either. Check this out. Things like community pools and parks are built right in from the start. This wasn't something they decided to add later. Nope, it was a core part of the plan to make this a fantastic, self-sufficient town right from day one.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got new industries, we've got a great new place for people to live. What's the last piece of the puzzle? Well, it's connecting everything, making it all work together like a well-oiled machine.
So how do you do that? Well, you do it with smart infrastructure, like this awesome modern tram system. It does more than just get people from point A to point B. It actually connects the city, giving people a super efficient and beautiful way to get between work, home, and all the fun stuff along the waterfront.
And the plan thinks beyond just big public transit, too. Look at this. They built dedicated, protected bike lanes. This is a huge deal. It means that riding your bike isn't just a fun weekend activity. It becomes a safe, practical, and healthy way to get to work or just get around town.
And in this shot, you can really see how it all clicks into place. This street wasn't designed just for cars. It was designed for people. You've got the trams, the buses, the bike lanes, the walkways for pedestrians. Everything has its own space, and it all works together smoothly and efficiently.
Which brings us right back to that core idea we talked about at the beginning. Our whole journey through Marsden Point proves it, right? The city's success wasn't just about building new stuff. It was about understanding that how we use our land and how we get around are deeply, deeply connected. You can't separate them, and when you get them working together in harmony, you build a city that's just better for everyone.
Now, I know our case study was a simulation, but these ideas, they apply absolutely everywhere. So the next time you're just walking through a city or waiting for a bus or riding your bike, take a second and look around. Remember that nothing you see is there by accident. Every single bench, every bike lane, every building, it's all part of a much bigger story.
It's all the result of thousands of little decisions that make up your city's blueprint. And that really just leaves us with one last question to think about. What's the blueprint for your city? And what part will you play in writing the next chapter?